What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here. Today, a little something different. I'm genuinely curious. I see a lot of doom and gloom sometimes in the comments, and listen. When it comes to inflation, stock markets, uh, labor shortages, recession talk, I am by no means an expert on any of that stuff. There are people way smarter than me that can talk specifics on charts and graphs on that stuff. But I am genuinely curious. Clearly, gas prices are higher. Day to day, just getting through a general day is more expensive than it was a few months ago. My key question is, are you worried about this for the general collectibles side of things, whether that's sports cards, comic books, toys, graded video games, whatever it is that you're into? Has the price of goods, the price of day-to-day living affected your either ability and or mindset when it comes to purchasing a card or a comic book, whatever, insert whatever collectible thing that's out there? I see a lot of talk about it. I do. Whether it's in discords or in, just in comments on videos, I see a lot of people talking about people have the choice whether to heat their homes or buy eggs or whatever, or buying a piece of cardboard with a man in a tank top on it. They're going to go with the food and gas for the car and whatnot. And I get that. It hasn't necessarily, personally, I've put a little more thought process behind what I buy. I don't know that I've slowed down a ton in buying. I feel like I'm buying at the same pace. I would say I'm being a little more careful, but I haven't like reined in my spending or anything crazy like that. But I'm curious, is it affecting you? Like I said, I see a lot of comments about this, but I'm just generally wondering in the comments down below, please let me know, how has the general world, for lack of a better term, affected your purchasing habits when it comes to collectibles? If it hasn't yet, are you concerned in the long term? So this is a little bit of a feedback video. Once again, I see a lot of chit chat about this on other people's channels. I know AIH has talked about, a recession coming in a few years, and just basically any news outlet or whatever it is that you watch, someone has something different to say about all this stuff. And like I said, I'm not going to sit here and analyze what the Fed's doing and how it relates to the card world. But I just want to know, for a day-to-day basis, how it is affecting you all, you boys and girls. How is it affecting your decisions? Are you hoping to buy more if there is a recession? Are you stockpiling cash to buy if things dip? Are you parking your money in these types of things? Just a generally curious what you all are doing. I know I've been thinking about this a little bit more and more lately, and I have considered maybe setting a little bit of pile of money aside slightly for if things do take a turn, to have the ability to go out and maybe pick up some deals. That's kind of where my headspace has been at. I mean, from a sports card market perspective, most stuff has been slowly trending down the last couple months. Obviously, some players in some sports have been going F1 still been performing pretty well. Marvel had its rise and fall. Some bat Jordan Poole to the moon, Jalen Brunson to the moon, this, that, and the other thing. But on a macro level, a lot of things are dipping. Josh from Card Ladder had a good IG post the other day. I think it was, or maybe it was Chris from Card Ladder, one of the two, about how the high end, the ultra high end stuff, like your hundreds of thousands of dollar cards, those indexes have started slightly pulling back a little bit. Which, as he stated in that IG post, that it takes a lot for that stuff to slide backwards, just because there's not a lot of sales on it. They don't move that often. So for it to move a whole index, it takes quite a bit based off their metrics. But yeah, just kind of curious for your thought process with all this stuff. Is the larger outside world affecting your spending habits on collectibles. There's a war going on across the world. There's still supply chain issues. We are still in the later days of a global pandemic. Uh, Inflation, the whole 9 yards. The whole thing is out there. It's a crazy world out there. And I'm just trying to get a feel for how this is actually affecting your average collector. No offense to anyone out there. I view us all as, actually probably above average collectors in terms of being in the space on a day-to-day basis. Collector, investor, hobbyist, whatever the hell you want to label us all as, flipper. We're all doing the same thing. We're all buying some expensive piece of paper, whether it's a comic book, a card, whatever. But I want some actual real world boots on the ground people letting me know how this is affecting them. Like I said, it hasn't affected me a ton yet, other than maybe thinking a little bit deeper about the choices that I'm making. I've been dipping back into, I've showed 2 on the channel so far this year. I actually just bought a third. I just haven't done a video on it yet. I've been dipping my toes back into the world of comic books. Bronze and Silver Age keys is usually what I go after on that side. And I've been spending a little bit more time and research focusing on that sort of stuff, because I view that stuff more as long-term holds, higher floors. Even if things crash, a silver or bronze age key in a CGC high grade is going to have a certain floor to it. So I'm willing to ride the waves on that stuff. For you all, maybe that is a vintage sports card or something like that, which makes total sense. Vintage sports cards aren't for me. I use comic books to scratch the vintage sports card itch. But like I said, I'm not an economist. I don't have some profound thought to put out there about what the world is going to do in the next 3, 6, 9 months, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, whatever. I'm just curious how this is all affecting you guys and girls. So that's all I have today. Just a nice little short video, nothing crazy. So leave your comments down below. Once again, just give me some feedback on how the wider world has been affecting your pocketbook when it comes to the collectible space. Tomorrow's video, not sure yet. Thursday's video will probably be the grading company president video. Recording that Wednesday evening. I'll probably put that up first thing Thursday. And maybe we'll talk comic books tomorrow. I haven't talked comic books for a while. Maybe we'll dive in and do a little bit of comic book chit chat tomorrow, just kind of where my headspace is at around that stuff. Because that stuff has seen some pullbacks as well, but nowhere near as drastic as the sports card side of things. And obviously we don't know where the future goes from here regarding any of this stuff. If it's going to continue to go down more, we don't really know. But that's all I got for you guys and girls. Like, comment, subscribe, and then we will catch you guys and girls on the next one. Peace.